Hello, Dee here from Mindful Facilitation, and you're so welcome to this short video on self-care as a pathway to resilience. And to begin, I want to acknowledge that this short video is part of the Encouraging Minds series of workshops, promoting library supports for local communities. And I want to thank Kilkenny County Council Library Service for making this possible. And also the funding that was made available through the Dormant Accounts Funding and also the Department of Rural and Community Development. So with thanks to all these collaborators, you are welcome to this short space together. So self-care is often misunderstood as something soft or selfish. And in fact, it's neither. A commitment to deep self-care helps us to really center ourselves and regulate ourselves so that we can be there for others. We know the story, thinking back to those happy days, which please God will come again, where we might be on an aeroplane. And before the plane takes off, we get the safety warning. Please, if the oxygen mask drops down, put the mask on yourself before attending to the children or those you're caring for. Now that's counterintuitive. We normally reach out to care for those we love for and leave ourselves last. So in this video, I'm inviting you to consider the truism that we cannot pour from an empty cup. And so I invite the first of two practices in this video that support us in our self-care. This practice is a small part of the metta or loving kindness practice, one of the ancient practices from the first wave of mindfulness from its Buddhist roots, but now very much practiced by evidence-based mindfulness, which shows us that investing in our own self-care improves our physical, emotional, and mental well-being and helps us to be there for others. So I invite you into this practice now. So to begin with, just taking your seat, feet on the floor, straight back, and maybe allowing a soft front. And deciding what you'd like to do with your eyes. You might like to close your eyes. You may prefer just to soften the gaze to allow the eyes to rest. And then inviting you to listen to the sound of the bell. And as the sound of the bell begins to fade, just allowing the echo of the bell to find a place to rest within you. Just intentionally taking this pause. Maybe noticing the feet on the floor. Becoming aware of the points of pressure between the feet and the floor. Noticing the body on the chair. Taking a moment to notice the shoulders now. Just registering what's here in the shoulders right now. Maybe some holding or tension or tightness. Maybe a sense of relaxation. Seeing how the shoulders might drop even a little. And then becoming aware of the breath. Just without any special efforting, just noticing the breath as it comes into and out of the body. Maybe noticing the breath right down in the belly, the lower abdomen. noticing the slight swell of the belly on the in-breath, the gentle falling back on the out-breath. And if the mind is busy or racing, or there are strong emotions or bodily sensations, just remembering this practice that there's nothing wrong here. And as best we can, taking a kindly, gentle curiosity to whatever is here for us right now. And then unhooking and coming back to just this breath in the belly. The swell of the belly on the in-breath and the slight deflation on the out-breath. Watching the breath like we might watch the waves of the seashore. The breath coming in and the breath going out. And shifting the awareness now from the abdomen or the belly up to the chest area. And again noticing the breath coming into and out of this area. Becoming aware of the heart in this part of the body. And if it seems okay to you, placing a hand on the heart area and just feeling that connection, the warmth of touch, maybe even noticing the heartbeat. As the breath comes in and out of the chest area. And in this quiet moment, just bringing to mind an image of yourself, exactly as you are now, or maybe yourself from an earlier time, and wishing yourself well, saying silently these words: may I be safe. May I be as well as possible. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be as well as possible. May I live with ease. May I be happy. And taking a moment now to use whatever form of words makes most sense to you to wish yourself well in this moment. And knowing as you do that even if you don't feel any feelings of warmth towards yourself, the intention is enough. We know from the work of neuroscience that just using the words and having the intention will in time cultivate that sense of warmth towards yourself. May I be safe. May I be as well as possible. May I live with ease. May I be happy. Just removing your hand from the heart space now and becoming aware again of the feet on the floor, the body on the chair. And when you're ready, lifting the gaze or opening the eyes. So that metta or friendship or loving kindness practice is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves as we cultivate this self-compassion. I want to give you 5 tips on cultivating deep self-care as a pathway to resilience. Number 1 is to have a self-care toolkit. So what supports your well-being? Not the numbing, switching off, mindless TV watching that I might do sometimes, but what actually supports your well-being. Maybe it's a long bath, maybe it's time in the garden, or a walk, or a good book. Identifying and knowing what should be in your self-care toolkit and then drawing on that in times of need. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, self-care is often hardcore practice, like setting boundaries. So none of us can be available all of the time to all people. So knowing your boundaries and communicating your boundaries. Tip number 3, self-care involves sometimes saying no. So practicing and cultivating the ability to say no in order to protect your own self-care. Tip number 4, we are social beings as humans. So really making sure that in your self-care toolkit is identifying 1 or 2 or 3 people that you can really speak freely to and staying in touch with these people, unburdening to those we love and those we know support us. And the final tip is really spending time understanding that we cannot pour from an empty cup. So part of my commitment to care for and support another, whether as a parent or somebody who's supporting somebody in need, part of my care for that other is understanding that I cannot pour from an empty cup. I'd like to finish with one further self-compassion practice. And it's really a very physical practice. So we know from the work of neuroscience that touch is very healing. And the brain doesn't even know whether it's me that's doing the touch or another. So in this short practice, I invite you to begin to actually make contact with yourself. Maybe stroking your arms up and down, maybe coming to the shoulders. Maybe the shoulders are a bit tight. Maybe it's the back of the head or the top of the head. Or for you, maybe it's the legs, the knees, or another part of the body. Just allowing yourself to tune in and to feel the contact and to know where the contact will be welcome. For some of us, it's just placing a hand. For some of us, we like the stroke of the touch. So just experimenting with that very gently and allowing your brain to register the warmth of caring, compassionate touch. And especially in a moment of stress or difficulty, that compassionate touch, even for less than a minute, can flood the brain with that sense of well-being, warmth and connection, which in turn sends all these helpful hormones from our parasympathetic nervous system that allows everything in the body to calm, stress to dissipate. So a simple self-compassion practice. Till next time, I wish you good work with developing your own self-care toolkit, an investment for you and for all of those that you love. Thanks for being here. Bye.